Oh God, which one is this one?
So, Viggo Mortensen says the N Word during the Green Book Q&A, sparking a huge backlash.
What'd he say? How he say it?
I'm Phoenix Tremaine.
And I'm Cable.
And I'm trying to find his quote.
What'd he say?
He says, for instance, no one says nigger anymore. Mortensen said, sitting right beside Mahershala Ali and the movie's director, Peter Farley.
But why did he say, for instance?
He was talking about in the past, people easily said the word. And now, people don't say it as much. And it talks about how everybody on the panel tensed up. There was a huge backlash. And Viggo eventually released a statement to the Hollywood Reporter apologizing for his use of the N-word and making the point that many people casually use the N-word at the time in which the movie story takes place in 1962. I used the full word, Viggo said. Although my intention was to speak strongly against racism,
And that's what I got from it.
I have no right to even imagine the hurt that I caused by hearing that word in any context, especially from a white man. I do not use the word in private or in public. I am very sorry that I did use the full word. I don't know why I keep saying the full word. Whether you said nigga, a nigger.
Because people say the N word. When white people say they say the N word, that's why he keeps saying the full word.
And will not utter it again. And then if you look at the comment section, people are just letting him have it.
Listen, you can clearly tell that he wasn't meaning it in a racist way. And I
see what does this comment says?
That he could have just said N word instead. Listen, he was being specific. And he usually says nigger. Listen.
Instead of the word he usually says. So people are taking into context that he was so comfortable with saying it because he says it all the time. That is the controversial
That's not
part.
What I got from that. And people just like to make controversy happen. What I learned in this day and age, people like conflict, people like drama, people like all that stuff. That's what you feed upon, that negative bullshit. And I'm not here for it. And I'm a black man sitting here telling you that I could tell before you read the rest of the shit, his apology and what he meant. I knew that's what he meant by it. Instantly. The problem is, given what's going on now, and this probably would have happened in Obama days, you still would have felt the same way. People feed off of negative things. People will start something negative because that's what y'all like. That's what the U.S. is built on, negativity, and y'all just gonna keep it fucking going. I don't think this man meant it at all. I know he didn't mean it at all. And then when you read his apology and how he explained it, I 125% believe him. Get the fuck over it. And if you want the word to stop being used, then black people stop using it towards other fucking black people. If you want it to end, then end it in your own fucking community. Don't expect it not to be. Don't say it's okay for us to use it and then scrutinize someone else. It's a bad fucking word anyway. I hate the word. I don't use it. I don't care how you try to downgrade it. Or we say my nigga, not nigger. Bitch, it means the same fucking thing. You're calling the bitch a nigger no matter how you spell it. Stop using it and maybe it will stop being used everyone else. It gotta start with you. Stop trying to make it start with everyone else and then you get away with it. And that's my argument, and bitch, goodbye. Continue.
Okay. So this is my take on it.
It's my take.
Now, in college, I was in a speech class where I had to be in a debate with why people should or should not use the N-word. Mm-hmm. I won the debate on why not to use the word. I don't use the word unless it's in the context of education, of why you should not use the word. So what I found is a lot of people get upset about everything. But what I feel like we need to realize, we have to look at context in which something is said. Mm-hmm. A person can use a word that's horrible, but what is the context in which they say the word? Mm-hmm. And for instance, the word bitch. There's, people who, if you call a woman a bitch, you're calling her, she's a nasty woman. But bitch can also be a female dog. but also bitch could be, oh, you my bitch.
Right.
You know, or I'm the HBIC. I'm the head bitch in charge. So based on how a person says it, so if I'm like, God damn, you such a horrible ass bitch, you know
I'm
that
calling you something negative.
I'm being
It's a
negative,
right.
but I'm like, oh, that's my bitch.
Right.
I can't wait for
That's my bitch right here.
Well, not me, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm saying
Got
is,
offended?
but it's context. Yeah, but it's got context. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't say that and then say, yeah,
So, I did.
Well, that's totally hypocritical.
Because
you can't say, oh, that's positive, but if I say, oh, this is my bitch. No, not me. Like,
Yeah, because
So,
in the
you just
context
totally
between us, because we don't do
contradicted
that.
Oh, no, we don't.
We don't do that.
I don't even say that.
And I don't want even people on the camera to think we don't.
No, we don't do that. I never call them that. But
You know what I'm saying? But
point.
that's what I'm saying why it becomes offensive, because we don't do that. Like, I have a client who doesn't use proper pronouns. I'm always use proper pronouns. You know, he's like, he calls everybody she. No.
Oh, no, I'm a he. Please don't call me she. That's
and
offensive.
I'm constantly saying, and he laughs and laughs and laughs, but I'm like, no, use proper pronouns. I'm a he, I'm a boy, I'm a man, you know. It ain't that kind of party. So
your dog is
right. But I know he's not being derogatory in his mind, but if it's offensive to me,
you're making an excellent point.
If it's offensive to me, he needs to stop. Now, in regards to Viggo, he was not being derogatory. If you look at the context in which he was saying it, he was saying how fluid people just used it being negative towards black people.
That's what he was saying.
But now you can lose your job for saying it.
Right.
You can go online, you can wear a shirt that says it, and be unemployed the next day. So that's what he's referring to, is that we've had a cultural shift where even though everybody isn't aboard the train of this is a bad word, that a lot of people know is not good. You're not supposed to do it. And even my brother, he's one of those people that use it all the time. And every time he would say it on the phone, I hung up on him. And I hung up on him like 6 times. And after that 6th time, he talked to me like he had some sense. You know? So if a person, some people don't phase. You know, every other word they use is the N word. You know, but in his context, we've got to, we become too politically correct.
Yeah,
you have to. It was politically correctness was good in the beginning.
You're talking some good stuff over here.
But now we're way too far into the politically correct zone where we're not looking at the context in which people do things, and so some people do lose their job, you know, for no reason, because they weren't using it in a negative connotation.
And he certainly wasn't.
So that's it. That's my take on it. And
I agree with your take. I was scared that you was gonna go against me. I was really shaking in my boots. I was like,
I don't be controversial to be controversial. I still like to try and be enlightening.
Good, because
some people just want to hear.
And I hope people get it, because that was, as your message, even though mine was very.
And I'm going to keep saying this.
And I don't want to sound like I'm angry when I say what I said, but I love the way that you said it, and I love the words you said, because people need to hear this, and maybe we can start to heal as a country and as a black community.
And we can also figure out who's racist and who's not, who's prejudiced and who's not.
This man is nowhere near racist. I could read that before you told me his apology statement, and I don't feel like he had to apologize.
And some people that apologize,
but I get it.
I'm like,
why are you apologizing? Because you did nothing wrong.
Half the time when people apologize, I'm like, why are you apologizing? Because I know you don't mean it. You know, but those are the negative people.
I believe he meant his apology, but I know
he
within
meant
it.
Now I'm talking about other cases where people apologize.
But in this particular
and I'm
one,
like, you're not sorry.
Meant it, but he knows he didn't. He wasn't saying it in a derogatory way. We just so sensitive these days that we take everything that way.
Right.
When